Welcome to episode 9 of Andrew Sports Zone. We're back here again. I'm Andrew, and I have my dad, Peter, back on the show with me.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, we had an exciting last week, episode 8. Unfortunately, we had some unfortunate picks. We're like good one week and then bad the next, but we'll get into that later.
Not so bad, though.
Well, yeah, not so bad, but not as good as we started off the year. Remember how good we started? Really good first 4 weeks.
Oh, I tallied up our season total, so we'll reveal that later.
Oh, yeah, we'll reveal that later. So, yeah, definitely stay tuned. Last week's activities wasn't much, but because it's an unfortunate time of year, maybe we'll take a couple weeks off, but we hopefully there's some playoff games we can cover here on the show.
Yeah, things are winding down with the local high school stuff.
Yeah, things are winding down.
You didn't do anything, right? You didn't have anything to announce,
I didn't have
right?
anything to announce. The volleyball season ended. The soccer teams are going to the playoffs, but yeah, and then field hockey, I saw they had an away playoff game, so we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But yeah, there's not much for me to do anymore until basketball comes, and that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's been kind of slow for me as well. You know, I did a couple camera things for the boys' soccer games this week. They went okay. Some technical difficulties on the Monday game. My tripod kind of fell apart, so there was a brief about 10, 20-second period in that game where you see the whole world kind of tilting slowly because my tripod wasn't tightened up.
Yeah, but you did the camera work. You were talking about that on Monday. You also did it yesterday. We're once again recording this on a Thursday. Today is October 30th, 2025. Mm-hmm. Halloween is tomorrow. There's no sports activities for Beverly tomorrow. But you did camera work on Monday and Wednesday. I believe on Monday they did win against, was it Acton Boxborough, I think?
Yep.
We'll go into that later.
To that. Yeah.
And then, yesterday they also had a game. Moving on to varsity football, they had no game last week. It was their first bye week of the year. They have a game tonight on the 30th. At 7 p.m. at Peabody. It's going to be some bad weather, but hopefully they bounce back against a pretty bad Peabody team. I think last time I checked, they were 0-6.
Yeah, so hopefully they can get that and get to the at least 500 this year.
Oh, yeah, and like I keep mentioning, if Beverly wins this game, they will be 500 or better for the first time since 2018, according to their schedule, of course. And, it's if they win this game, I think it was by 14, they will have a home playoff game, so that'll be very exciting.
Yeah. Now, usually you go over those and cover those to give you the experience doing the play-by-play, but it's just it's a Thursday night, which kind of messes up with our schedule. We're recording this, we would have to rush right over there. Plus, to be honest, it's not the best weather tonight.
Yeah, not the best weather, and it's usually not on Thursday. These games are usually on Friday or Saturday, so it's just kind of weird for us.
We'll see if we can do the next one, but I do have a lot of fun at those away games and like to listen to you do the play-by-play. But yeah, maybe next week we'll pick that up.
Yeah, but the team is currently 4-3 for the season, and as mentioned again, if they win that game, they can be 5-3 and 500 for the first time. Excellent. And it'll be very exciting to see what they can do in the playoffs. You want to move into some girls soccer real quick?
Yeah, it looks like their team ended up the regular season at 12 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties. We get our scores from arbitrarlive.com. That's what the athletic director, Ryan Wood, gave me that address is the most current scores and things that are on there. So I check that all the time.
Yeah, a quick mention. I was looking at my school's sign-up things for the winter sports, and they do go through Arbiter Live. So I think that's the new platform for Beverly Sports this year, definitely.
Yeah, it's quite helpful. That's how I get the records and what the scores are, and it's really pretty current. They had 2 more games on that listed under the S category, which I thought meant like scrimmage. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with the girls, but they do have something. They had something yesterday. Wednesday, October 29th, 5 p.m. at Medford.
Yeah, I think it is.
About?
I think it is a scrimmage because I was looking. My school also publishes this thing. It's like a weekly sports schedule, and they had it was field hockey too. They had a couple scrimmages.
Okay.
And I'm not sure why they have them this late in the season, but it may be prepared.
I didn't see anything about the score, the results. Maybe they were just kicking it around, just getting ready for the playoffs.
Practice.
They have another one listed for Saturday, November 1st at 10 a.m. at Belmont High School. That's listed under the S category. So again, probably getting ready for the tournament over there. Mm-hmm. But I picked up some rankings from the Salem News. Usually they come out on Thursdays, I think. Yeah. But this was from last week, the 23rd. So I didn't see anything today, but I didn't check later in the afternoon. I don't know if they update Salem News throughout the day. Yeah. But I got it from last week, October 23rd. And with goals, assists, and points, we have Jaden Simpson on that team. She's got 18 goals, 7 assists, and 25 points as of last week. At fifth place in the NEC is Olivia Anketel. She's got 16 goals, 3 assists, and 19 points total. And for the goalie, they have the shutouts, and they had listed as Clara Costco with 9 shutouts for the season. So congratulations to them. And I'm sure those, well, actually, that's probably the final numbers, but we'll see how it ends up with the playoffs.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And it's very exciting to see both soccer teams do good this year. Always good. Soccer and hockey are usually our best programs at Beverly High School, so it's good to see that. Moving in quickly, I'll do some girls volleyball and some girls field hockey real quick. The girls volleyball team, their final game of the season was last Wednesday on the 22nd. That was a 0-3 loss against Salem. I think we mentioned that one last episode too. But they finished their season with a record of 7-13, and once again, I'll compliment Beth Harmon because she's done a great job going in there, and it's good. They have a lot of talent going into next year. It's going to be interesting with the loss of Reese Quietek because she was top of the NEC in those aces. But you definitely have potential there. And Lydia Meadham of Victoria Malumba.
It's a pretty young team, is it?
Yeah, and sophomores and juniors.
Oh, good.
So, you'll definitely see them next year. And I think Beverly will kind of be more of a blocking team next year, I kind of expect, with the loss of that the play ace maker and Reese Quietek. But we'll see. You'll see if you do some camera work next year while I'm gone for college. But moving on to girls field hockey, their final game of the regular season was last Friday, 10-24. They lost to Linfield 0-3. Goalie Charlotte Stevens made 3 saves. The girls finished their regular season 11-5-2. They are back in the playoffs for the 5th straight year and have earned the number 20 seed for the Division I playoffs. So good job to them. And I did see this on their schedule. Their first round game is at Attleboro High School, who is 13-4-1. That's on Saturday, November 1st at 10:30 a.m. That's an early game.
Yeah, and, that might be a nice even matchup. Though,
and also, that I was thinking about that Belmont game you mentioned at early in the morning. They must have to wake up early for those ones. But 7 of Beverly's wins this season came via shutout, with senior goalie Charlotte Stevens proving tough to beat. Also, a couple split shutouts with Lauren Conant, I believe she's a sophomore.
Oh, good. So I was wondering about the stats here because they do list
next
the
year.
shutouts.
But rankings from the Salem News as of 10/23/25. This goes by goals, assists, and points. Fiona Bayes in third on the North Shore with 12 goals, 15 assists, and 27 points. Gwen Jones in ninth with 12 goals, 6 assists, and 18 points. Mads LeBlanc has 5 goals, 11 assists, and 16 points. Who's 15th on the North Shore. And finally, for scoring is Avery LeBlanc. She's 17th on the North Shore. She has 9 goals, 5 assists.
Looks like a battle of the sisters there, huh?
Oh, yeah, battle of the sisters there. And for goalie, wins, saves, and shutouts, Charlotte Stevens finished with 11 wins, 82 saves, and 5 shutouts, with a couple half ones mixing in there, kind of combining. But move on to some boys soccer now.
Yeah, boys soccer, they had a game last Saturday, the 25th, with a 4-0 win at Chelmsford. Senior captain Daniel Silva netted a pair of goals. Seniors Dino Bearbick and Thomas O'Neill also scored goals. And then Adam Porcello posted yet another shutout for the Panthers. So he's having a lot of shutouts this year. Monday, we mentioned that I filmed that game at home. They had a 4-1 win at home against Acton Boxborough. Dino Bearbick had 2 first-half goals, and then senior Daniel Silva had 2 second-half goals, with contributions from Connor Sullivan and Jackson Merritt contributing assists. And then the Wednesday game yesterday ended up in a 1-1 tie in a tight battle against Newburyport. Really physical battle there. The goal by Connor Sullivan with 17 minutes left in regulation is what saved that draw for the Panthers. The team is 16-1-1 overall, and next heading to the playoffs. Now, it looks like, again, we record those games, but it looks like maybe they've pulled those games from the BevCam Sports Network, perhaps for the same reason that the field hockey team did, to avoid being scouted or something like that. But they are not there right now.
Yeah, it's really interesting to me, being a former football player. We just actively watch film of other teams, just gave it to the other team. The other teams actively encouraged the coaches to be on top and recording the plays. So it's strange seeing these other sports being like, no, we don't want to watch film. We don't want you to get our film. But then in football, they just share it with each each other just willy-nilly. They're like, oh, yeah, you could have our film.
Yeah, so
but
I mean, they'll be back at some
Yeah,
point.
they will
And
be
it is
back.
nice to check on how my camera work was, and just to, when you're on camera, you're not really seeing the whole game for what it is. So sometimes it's nice to have that time to stop, slow down, and watch it. But they'll be back. Same thing with parents and the players themselves. Probably like to watch themselves, but they'll be back up at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, moving into our professional section, we always do this.
Okay.
And this is the moment of truth. We will reveal our full year scores right now, about halfway through. That was up to week 8. We'll do some week 9 picks shortly. But a quick recap of this week's games. We'll go back and forth like we always do.
Okay.
I'll start with the Thursday, October 23rd game. I'll give my thoughts and all that.
Okay.
I picked Minnesota in this game, but I was wrong. The Los Angeles Chargers beat up on the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings just continue to be pretty bad without J.J. McCarthy at their quarterback. And I believe Aaron Jones came back in this game, and Jordan Mason didn't do much in this game. Chargers, I'm not sure how to pronounce his first name, but that tight end, Gadsden, really emerging as a target for Justin
that's right.
Herbert.
Yeah.
But Justin Herbert just passes the ball a lot, and it's really surprising the Chargers team this year, because Keenan Allen, 33 years old, being like the 5th best receiver in the NFL and the best receiver on the Chargers. That was strange to me. But yeah, it's the Chargers look good. Their defense has surprisingly been pretty bad these past couple weeks, but I think the Chargers will continue to be good, compete. The AFC West is competitive this year with the Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers, so that'll be interesting to see. It's more, it's usually the AFC East, but this year it's definitely the AFC West. You want to move into?
Yeah, I would call this next game the biggest surprise of the week. Actually, Miami beat Atlanta 34-10, which was quite unexpected because, as we've mentioned in past podcasts, Miami is just looking so bad. But they somehow pulled it together. I guess they had a better mix of offensive plays with the run and the pass, not just running all screen passes the full time.
Yeah.
And their defense was able to shut down my main man on my fantasy team, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
So that was the most annoying to me this week, because he was supposed to be just ripping the Miami Dolphins apart and just cranking out points for him. But instead, just nothing this week. He got like 5 points in fantasy. So that's all I have to say about that. It was the most surprising and disappointing game of the week. With that said, there weren't a lot of close games this week. There was only this next game that we're going to talk about that was within 10 points or so. All the other teams were well separated this week.
Oh yeah, but just a quick add-on to that Miami-Atlanta game. I heard someone have a pretty good take this week in class today. Since Atlanta faces New England today, I heard if New England is able to stop Bijan Robinson, then Atlanta's offense cannot move anywhere. That's what Miami did, and it showed that offense wasn't so good. Obviously, Kirk Cousins was the quarterback filling in for an injured Michael Penix Jr., but still. Atlanta offense wasn't that good. Moving on to this game, New York Jets versus Cincinnati Bengals. The battle of the bad defenses here and good offenses. I was grateful to have 2 running backs in fantasy in this game, Breece Hall and Chase Brown, and they both got about 52 points combined, so that was pretty cool to see. The Jets beat out the Cincinnati Bengals last minute. The Bengals defense just continues to be bad, and the Jets with the last minute touchdown, and they scored late. It's interesting to see the Jets' first win of the season, and I saw another interesting take online that this Cincinnati Bengals defense is so bad that the Jets, who couldn't get any motion, offensive motion against any other team, they scored 39 points against the Bengals. So it was just really funny to see.
This was a couple of bad teams, I picked Cincinnati and got this one wrong. But boy, and no matter how much I do hate the Jets, you do have to give compliments when they are due. And I do have to say that Coach Aaron Glenn did a good job calling that 2-point conversion near the end of the game. They got a touchdown, which kept them down by 8. They got the 2-point conversion, and that set them up for when their next touchdown, they could get the extra point to win the game. That's what happened. So that was just a smart play calling, thinking ahead in that one, which you don't often see from teams such as the Jets.
Yeah, definitely.
What's this next game here? New England and Cleveland. New England beat Cleveland 32-13. New England was at home with that. I don't really have a lot of comments or notes on this one besides Myles Garrett, 5 sacks
Oh yeah,
against
franchise record.
Yeah. So 5 sacks of Drake May, but that wasn't enough to shut down the full New England offense.
I really feel bad for Myles Garrett and that the Browns defense. Just like it's such a good pass rush. They have such a good defense. They have obviously drafted Mason Graham from Michigan in round 1 in the top 5 pick, I believe. So their pass rush and run defense is pretty good. But yeah, the Cleveland is just not able to really score. They had Drake May didn't look great in this game. He had a couple picks. He did turn it on in the second half. But yeah, Cleveland's defense is just the carrying of the team. But this time the offense wasn't able to do anything. Dylan Gabriel just didn't do anything. Jerry Jeudy got 0 fantasy points, 0 receptions. I saw that. And also Quinshon Judkins got injured. He has a shoulder injury. So Cleveland going into the bye, I think they'll think about how to be better in the future, but I think their defense continues to be great. Myles Garrett's probably going to win Defensive Player of the Year. New England, they still look good. I think they have an awfully easy, very easy schedule, but I think they'll be a playoff team this year. Drake May does look good, top 5 quarterback. I wouldn't say he's better than like Patrick Mahomes or anything, but he is pretty good.
You got the guys on the radio saying all these crazy things, how he's the greatest ever, whatever. Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know,
we definitely will see, but he does look good this season. Definitely a good coaching staff. To just like it's definitely. I always thought we should have done that with Drake May, just get Josh McDaniels back after he got fired from the Raiders, but I don't know why we ever did. I guess Bill Belichick was getting too old for all that stuff. But yeah, the Patriots definitely look better, and it's good to see. And I just hope they don't beat the Bills because I'm a dual Bills and New England fan, but I'm in my Bills mode now. So maybe I'll switch back. Who knows? But yeah, it's funny. You want to move on to Philadelphia New York Giants game?
Yeah, it looks like Philadelphia beat the New York Giants 38-20, and unfortunately, I don't have any recollection or recall of this game. I do know Saquon Barkley. I think he showed up again.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley definitely showed
some
up.
Points and looked good. So that's making the fantasy owners happy and the Philadelphia fans happy.
Yeah, it's definitely a blow in this game to the New York Giants losing Cam Scatterbo to a season-ending ankle injury. Yeah. So you could just see a lot of those Philadelphia players do respect Cam Scatterbo. They have a good relationship there. It's just all good teamwork. Sportsmanship. Yeah. But yeah, Philadelphia won this one. Saquon Barkley really carried it. Yeah, the Eagles' run defense looks much better. They have been pretty mediocre in the past couple games, but yeah, Saquon Barkley really turned that one on. Moving on to this Buffalo-Carolina game. Buffalo, it was kind of a close game in the first quarter, but then Andy Dalton just couldn't handle that Bills defense, throwing a couple picks, fumbles after getting sacked. The
Bills looks like they got him 7 times.
Yeah, and the Bills won that one 40-9, and James Cook, the career day AFC Offensive Player of the Week, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, something like that.
The Bills do so much better when they remember he's on the team.
In our loss against the Patriots, we didn't really rush them that much. But when the Bills remember to use James Cook, he is really good. But another big impactful blow for Buffalo. They will lose Ed Oliver. He had a torn pectoral muscle, so he'll be out. And he's a really good player, but he's struggled a lot with injuries.
How long is he out, did you know?
I'm not sure. Indefinite.
Yeah,
I saw.
He got that last game.
Maxwell Harrison, rookie cornerback, came back for this game, and he did pretty good covering Teterow or McMillan. I
heard that some of the defensive guys that filled in for some injuries actually did a pretty good job last week.
It's exciting to see. He's one of the fastest players. He was the fastest player in the draft according to the 40-yard dash, so it's going to be exciting to see him in the future.
Oh, good.
He did have a limited snap percentage in this game, but hopefully he will be better next week going into the game against the Kansas City. And that'll be a hard one covering Rashee Rice. But yeah, we'll see that one. You want to move on to that Baltimore-Chicago game?
Yep, we had Chicago at Baltimore, and Baltimore won that game 30-16. So I had chose Chicago, but you chose Baltimore and got that one right, even though you thought Lamar Jackson was coming back last week, but you were still out. But
I got that one right. I chose Baltimore because I thought Lamar Jackson was coming back. But yeah, Tyler Huntley definitely filled in for Lamar Jackson and did pretty good.
Yeah, and this is definitely a team to watch, Baltimore, just because they had such high expectations of them beginning of the year, but now every week is do or die for them. They are right on the edge of not being in the playoffs or being going to miss the chance at the playoffs.
I think they lose one more game, they'll probably be out. But
most likely,
well, they do have a game today. We'll talk about that later, the Thursday night game. But moving on to the San Francisco-Houston game, I picked. San Francisco won this game, but Houston won this one. San Francisco is a really weird team to choose because I've been wrong about San Francisco for 3 weeks in a row now. I've chosen against them 2 weeks, and this week I chose for them and they lost. So like Mac Jones just didn't look good against this Houston defense, and the Houston and I heard a good take on the radio. If C.J. Stroud gets time in the pocket, then he's a really good player. He's still a really good player, but Houston's offensive line is just really bad around C.J. Stroud. So they might have to actually look for something this trade deadline that is this Tuesday coming up.
Yeah.
But Houston, C.J. Stroud looked pretty good in this game, so that was cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, we've been bad-mouthing him every other week, but he was 30 for 39 for 318 yards passing,
really good.
so decent showing that week.
Moving on to this Tampa Bay New Orleans game. I do not have.
Tampa Bay beat New Orleans.
Tampa Bay beat
24
New Orleans.
to 23 to 3.
Yeah, just utter dominance from this Tampa Bay team. I expected Alvin Kamara to do a bit more, but I think he is struggling with injuries. And this game got Spencer Rattler benched, so it would be
for Tyler Shuck.
It will be Tyler Shuck for the rest of the season for New Orleans.
Oh, they're not letting him come back.
I don't think they are. But Tampa Bay. It's interesting. Baker Mayfield, after being an MVP candidate, just hasn't looked good these past couple weeks. It was more of a balanced game.
Did you watch that? They had 7. I think they said 7 plays in a row.
Yeah.
Or at least 7 plays from the 1 yard line in which Tampa Bay couldn't get into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now that just raises red flags there.
Yeah.
Even though they won this game pretty handily, and Tampa Bay has been looking good. If you can't punch the ball in from the 1 yard line, man, you really got to step back and figure what your play calling is.
They really need Bucky Irving back because I don't think Rashad White or Sean Tucker is the key there for Tampa Bay at running back, because definitely not on the goal line. But it'll be interesting to see Tampa Bay in the future. Moving on to this Denver-Dallas game. This one I expected to be a shootout, but it ended in kind of a big blowout for Denver, winning 44-24. The Dallas defense just continues to be on par with the worst in the league. I think it's Cincinnati and Dallas are the worst defenses in the league. And I think Dallas' situation this year is kind of like the 2024 Cincinnati Bengals, where they had a good offense, one of the best offenses, but a horrible defense. And Dallas just has nobody to contradict anything. After trading Michael Parsons to the Packers, they just have nobody good on defense. And Bo Nix surprisingly looks good in this game. Troy Franklin, his old buddy from Oregon, starting to look really good for him. It was a fun game to watch, and CeeDee Lamb had a couple points. George Pickens, it's a good receiving room there.
And Dallas is one of those teams that's been fooling me. One day I'm like, no, I'm never going to pick them, and the next week, they're looking okay, I'll pick them. So they're one of these teams I don't know what to do with.
Definitely.
When they come up in the picks.
Yeah, Dallas is one of those teams as well as San Francisco. Moving on to the next game, this one was pretty simple to pick. Indianapolis beat Tennessee by a pretty big margin.
38-14.
38-14. Michael Pittman Jr. continues to look good. Had a highlight reel, the one-handed touchdown behind the back. He continues to be one of the best red zone targets, and a really good emergence for the Colts. Again, coming out of USC, had a lot of potential. USC, one of those really good receiver schools. But Indianapolis just continues to be unstoppable on that offense. And Jonathan Taylor, another 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing and 1 receiving. So it's just the fantasy MVP.
Let's just put that on repeat and play it next week.
3 weeks in a row, I think. Moving on to that Green Bay-Pittsburgh game. Green Bay won this one. This one was pretty close, actually boring in the first half, but then it really turned on in the second half. Jordan Love beating his his mentor Aaron Rodgers there in Pittsburgh. Jordan Love really turned it on. He was the fantasy quarterback one this week, and I think he had, I don't know the exact number, but it was like 20 plus straight completions in the game, and it was really good. He just was calm in the pocket and just knew what to do. And Green Bay won this one pretty soundly. Chris Boswell was actually a very good player for Pittsburgh. Kicked like 8 field goals and got 20 fantasy points. So, but Pittsburgh couldn't score against that Green Bay defense in the touchdown-wise. But, Green Bay continues to look good. If they pass more with Jordan Love, then I think they'll be fine.
Okay, good.
And, but finally that Kansas City-Washington game, this one was actually very, very close in the first half, but then Patrick Mahomes just does what he does best and really turned it on in that second half and won this one 28-7. Marcus Mariota wasn't able to do anything after that first offensive drive, and Rashee Rice continues to look good. Travis Kelce surprisingly was pretty good too. He got a touchdown, 5 receptions, 70 yards, I believe.
Oh, really? He's been kind of quiet this year. He's been mediocre this year.
Yeah, mediocre. It's now the moment of truth. We'll move on to our all-season records.
For our picks, individual picks of last week, I was 8-5. You were 7-6 on those picks for week 8. And for the overall, you go ahead.
For my overall on the season, I am 75-46, and you're close by. You are.
I am 72-49.
Yeah, so we're pretty good actually.
So we're still going to be called
better than some analysts.
Still going to be called Andrew's Sports Zone and not Peter's Sports Zone. As soon as I take the lead, we're switching that over. No, I'm just kidding. So while we're here, I mean, what do you think about the Tuesday trade deadline? See anything coming up? They're throwing Breece Hall's name out there. I don't know, Alvin Kamara. People are trying to get.
Yeah, NFL trades are just really, really weird to me because you can have a guy like Tyreek Hill go from Kansas City to Miami, and then they trade him for like a backup tight end and a 5th round pick. But then you have guys like the Jets are like the Raiders more is a better example. They're like asking for like a 1st round pick out of Jacoby Myers or something. So NFL trades are really weird. The Patriots made a couple trades. They traded Kyle Duggar and Keon White. They traded Keon White to the 49ers. But it also, NFL trades are weird like that as well. They traded they did this a couple times, the Patriots, like Keon White in the 7th for just a measly 6th round pick. Like, it's weird that you have to combine a player and a pick for another pick. It's late picks. NFL trades are the weirdest thing ever.
So what are we expecting? Is there usually a lot of action right before the deadline? Or is it just if something would have happened, it would have happened by now? How is it typically in the football?
I think it's more near the deadline, but it's kind of like quieter moves. I haven't seen much big things coming in the trade deadline. A lot of times, last year you saw Amari Cooper go, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's like low-end receivers like that. So I think I expect Jacoby Myers to be moved. I saw teams linked to him were the Bills, Broncos, and somebody else. And I know the Broncos are actively looking for a downfield receiver, and I think they might get Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. So they're looking at him. And I don't think Alvin Kamara will be traded. Breece Hall, they have too much of an asking price. So I just think the impact players, like the starting running backs and all that, won't be traded, but like receivers like Jacoby Myers, who have been injured for a couple games, but still can be good for a different team, will be traded. So my prediction for Jacoby Myers, I think the Bills will go get him and get a receiver. But it's going to be interesting to see.
Actually, I think they mentioned him on the radio for the Patriots as well. Might they be in the? I mean, he was on the Patriots.
He was on the Patriots for a couple of years, but yeah, he's definitely the top trade target for a lot of people right now.
We'll watch him. We'll see where he.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes. Moving on, we'll go to our live pick sections. We'll start with you, like we always do.
Okay. We start off with, let me see. So week 9 pick sheet. Tonight we have Baltimore at Miami. Lamar Jackson's back. Miami, so they won a game. That doesn't mean they're any good, so I'm going to pick Baltimore on that one. You always give better rationale. I might have kind of gut checks. Chicago at Cincinnati, I had picked Cincinnati, and I'd fall for their trap sometimes, but we know Chicago's going to win that one. Miami at Detroit. I'm going to pick Detroit. We didn't mention Detroit. They must have been on the bye week last
they were on a bye
week, right?
week.
So they'll be rested, and they're at home, so they're going to beat Minnesota. Carolina at Green Bay. Green Bay is starting to look back to form, I think, and as you'd mentioned, Jordan Love looking good, so we'll go with them against Carolina. and Carolina just got a nice thrashing from the Bills. The Chargers at the Titans. The Chargers will pick for that one. I think the Titans are still pretty low on the totem pole. Ooh, Atlanta at New England. Well, if Atlanta gets... I like Atlanta because... I'm going to pick New England. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to pick New England.
Yeah.
San Francisco is always injured. But, again, that's one of the teams you say fools you. The Giants also fool me each week. I've got guys on my fantasy team from both teams. I'm going to try for the Giants at home on that one. Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis. I always, we're going to keep picking them till the bitter end. Denver, Houston. We'll go with Denver. I always pick Las Vegas. Jacksonville at Las Vegas. We're going to pick Las Vegas again. It'll be right one of these days. The Saints at the Rams. We'll pick the Rams. Kansas City at Buffalo. Oh, we hate Kansas City so much.
Well, I think it's... I'll give my insight, but I think it's at Buffalo, so I pick Buffalo.
At Buffalo. So. I'm gonna pick Buffalo because they are looking back to form. I mean, they're looking like they have a good offense. I'm not seeing Josh Allen doing anything crazy like throwing touchdowns, passes to himself or anything like this year. I need some excitement like that. But Buffalo's, they'll take care of them. Seattle at Washington. Let's go for Seattle on that one. Arizona at Dallas. Oh, I don't know. Arizona, Kyler Murray. Who's Arizona's quarterback these days?
Kyler Murray again. He's
I don't
back.
like him. Dallas. I'm going to go Dallas. They, like I said, they fool me all the time too, but you fool me once, whatever the saying is.
All right.
So you go.
Yeah, my turn. I have Baltimore beating Miami tonight. I just think Baltimore is really going to run over Miami. I think Derrick Henry is going to do pretty good in the rushing game, and Lamar Jackson's going to get back into form and be pretty good. I have Cincinnati beating Chicago. This one's going to be interesting, but I like what Cincinnati did with their offense, and I didn't like Chicago being crushed by Tyler Huntley. I think Cincinnati will be able to pull this one out. And Chicago's offense is just like on and off. It's not consistent at all. I have Detroit beating Minnesota. This one's pretty simple. J.J. McCarthy is coming back to Michigan, where he played college football, won a national championship. But I just think Detroit wins this one. I have Green Bay beating Carolina. That's pretty simple. Carolina got their really beaten by the Bills last week. So Green Bay, I think they win this one with a good passing game and running game. I think Chargers beating Tennessee. Tennessee just continues to have a pretty tough schedule, actually, and just nobody good. Not a real favorite in any of these games, really. But the Chargers, I think they'll win this game pretty soundly. I have the New England Patriots beating the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to take that take I heard this morning that if the New England Patriots can shut down Bijan Robinson, I think they'll be fine. And I think I like what the New England has done against opposing running backs. So I think that's exactly what New England will do and shut Bijan Robinson down. So I think New England will win this one. I have San Francisco beating the New York Giants. I know San Francisco's injury-ridden and all that, but with the loss of Cam Scatterbo, the Giants have to rely on Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary in their rushing game, and Jackson Dart not being great. I think San Francisco wins this one. I have Indianapolis beating Pittsburgh. This one's interesting, but Indianapolis all the way. Their offense is just so strong. I have Denver beating Houston. This one's going to be interesting, but I have liked what Denver has done with their offense in the past couple weeks, and Houston does have a really good defense, but I think Denver pulls this one out. Jacksonville beating Las Vegas. This one is, again, interesting. One of those games you just don't really want to watch, but I think Jacksonville pulls this one out because of more offensive weapons on the team. I have the Rams beating the Saints. Pretty simple. Tyler Shuck is not ready for that Rams defense, right. How good it has been. And Alvin Kamara dealing with injuries again. We'll see how that Saints team looks after this trade deadline, but I think they'll lose this game. Buffalo beating Kansas City. This one's really close. Kansas City has looked good in the past couple weeks, and Buffalo has looked mediocre even after coming off the win against Carolina. But I just think Buffalo wins this one because of home field advantage. Home field advantage is definitely something that is in football, and they've won a couple past couple years. They have beaten the Chiefs in Buffalo, so I think Buffalo pulls that one out. Seattle beating Washington. Washington continues to be injury prone. Jane Daniels dealing with injuries this year. I already saw Terry McLaurin was ruled out with a quad injury. And Debo Samuel's just not been great for that team. And
Don't get me started on McLaurin.
the story
he's out for 6 weeks, come back for 1 week and get injured again. So.
Yeah, and Washington's kind of like San Francisco last year, or kind of like this year too. But it's just all their starters are really, really injured.
Yeah.
And then I have Dallas beating Arizona. I think this game might be a shootout because both of these defenses are pretty bad. But I just think Dallas has much better players with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Javonte Williams, Dak Prescott, just so much better than the Cardinals. So yeah, those are our picks. Hopefully, they're more accurate this week. I was 7-6 last week, so hopefully I do a little bit better than that. But that concludes our football section. We'll go into some other professional sports real quickly, then we'll close it out here.
Sounds good.
Moving on to baseball, we'll move on to the World Series. They just had a game last night, 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
It's pretty surprising. Those players work pretty hard. 18-inning game, then they have to play 2 games back-to-back.
And that was on Monday night, the 18.
Yeah, and then Tuesday and then Wednesday they have games, and all of them are in Dodger Stadium. We're in Dodger Stadium, but this time they'll move back to Toronto for games 6 and 7.
Okay.
So we'll see if Toronto can close it out at home. And I think it's pretty interesting. If I was somebody in Toronto, I would kind of do something cool. Maybe they're all sold out.
Of course they're sold out.
Well, they are, but it's going to be less expensive.
No, it's not.
It is.
All right, well, go ahead.
The Rogers Center Stadium in Toronto does have a hotel in it, so maybe you can watch the game from your hotel room. That'd be pretty cool.
Those hotels are going to be sold out.
I know they're not expensive.
Thousands and thousands. Either way, it's a good idea.
Yeah, but the Blue Jays have a chance to close it out. They've looked great. I'm cheering for the Blue Jays personally. I don't like what the Dodgers are doing with baseball, but yeah, hopefully the Blue Jays can close this one out. It's going to be interesting. They have 2 games to do it, so we'll see how they go. 6-2 win last night in Dodger Stadium. Trey Yoshi, I think his name is something like that, Yoshi Voss, or but I'm not sure his exact name. But rookie pitcher for the Blue Jays kind of did something similar to Cam Scheitler against that Cam Scheitler did against the Red Sox. The rookie pitcher coming in there being great against a good team. And that's what Oshie Ross did for the Blue Jays last night. He pitched 7 innings, I think 12 strikeouts, really shut down that Dodgers team to only 2 runs. And the Blue Jays, you should have seen it, man. It was like back-to-back home runs to start off the game off Blake Snell, the Dodgers pitcher. So that was pretty exciting. In the offseason news for Red Sox, not much happening. Just same old news. Tristan Casas not going to be the primary first baseman for the Red Sox this year.
Is that a definite?
That's confirmed. And then Alex Bregman is in free agency, so we'll see how that goes next year. Moving on quickly to the hockey, the Boston Bruins won a couple nights ago, 5-2 against the New York Islanders, and they do remain last in the Atlantic Division. But
what was that, Bruins, breaking like a 5-game losing streak or something?
Yeah, like 3 games. The Bruins just don't look good. Their backup goalie. Not sure if this information is accurate. He did start the game against the Islanders, where he only gave up 2 goals. But he does have the 3rd worst GAA in the NHL, which is goals allowed per game, which was at 4.08 the last time I checked. So the backup goalie for the Bruins isn't that great, and Jeremy Swayman also isn't great either. A couple nights ago, 7-2 loss against the Ottawa Senators. So he's just not great. It's just a far cry from what we had only a couple years ago in 2022 to 2023 and 2023 to 2024 with Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark, the best goalie duo in the league. But
on the radio, they were playing audio clips of the players, and they sounded beat down already. It's so early in the season.
Moving on quickly to the Boston Celtics, they moved to 2-3 on the season. They had an impressive win against the Cleveland Cavaliers last night, 125-105, 20-point win. Jaylen Brown looked good, and Fernie Simons continues to look good coming off the bench, surprisingly. But he plays 28 minutes a game, gets 18 points. So I think we should start him, but he looks really good. And I wrote about this in my article. You can check it out on Andrew Sports Zone. We have a website. We can write blogs there. But I think I heard another good take that if the Celtics are just good enough to make the play-in, they will have Jason Tatum back, and they go from a measly play-in team to they can make a deep playoff run. They have Jason Tatum back, so that's
Okay.
interesting to me. But yeah, that's about it. That wraps up our professional sports. We'll get to you next week, hopefully with some playoffs, and hopefully we can fill in enough information until basketball season arrives and all those sports. But yeah, that was episode 9 of Andrew Sports Zone. I'm Andrew, and this is my father Peter, and we'll catch you next Thursday.